Today live. Man, the party is over. The kids went back home, and I love them to death, but man, they are exhausting. Uh, I had to do that regular 9 to 5 nonsense, and today is Friday, and I could not be more ready. We are on a backyard vacation. We've been going crazy hard the last couple weeks, massive inflatable tents, uh, trips to the beaver dam. Yeah, we ain't doing none of that today. Today's message is to sit on my ass, start a little campfire. It's cold. We fall now. This marine layer don't go anywhere. Is it cold enough for a wood stove? Nah, but do we like that vibe? Absolutely. I got my lawn chair set up. I got some tunes that I can't let y'all share because, people want to be paid for their music rights. The days of bootlegging off Napster and waiting 11 minutes for a song to download are unofficially over. I think Metallica ruined that. So if you watching, bro, you ruined the 90s. Your music ruined the 80s. But afterwards, when you want to sue somebody over a couple copyright songs, it's a problem. Let's get this fire going. Let's get these vibes out. Let's get a bobber in the water. I ain't even had it here. I'm inviting these kids over to fish, but you can't do any real fishing. All the kids do is tangle lines, make it hard. But I think first up, let's get this little fire going. Let's get a line in the water. Let's see what happens. My poor little camp stove has definitely seen better days, but little things to make our lives easier. We built a little tinder box. We got some cardboard. We got some shredded paper. We got a little alcohol soak going on with it. We using Presto logs. And thanks to the advice of a viewer, we are starting it not at the front, but in the back. You live and learn. A lot of times, certain things seem like common sense, and then you just don't do them. Here I was building the fire at the front of the box, and I couldn't get it to draft. A little bit of newspaper, a little bit of fire in the back of the box, I'm sure will make my life predominantly easier. A little harder to get going, but significantly easier once it does. We'll build, a little tinder box is great. We'll see if we can't get, it was just a mix of, cardboard, paper, and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. And we'll see if we can't get some of these round woods going. We'll let that, oh man, my poor little wood stove. This thing is only about a year old, and I've sanded it down, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. And refinished it with the high temp stove paint. But at the end of the day, I live next to the ocean, and that makes life tough. So we got salty air, and it's hard on gear. I melted out the flue pipe. The original flue piece with the damper broke, and It's been a good little stove. I'll give it credit where credit's due. It's had a hard life. It's been rode hard and put up wet. And we might rebuild it. We might rebuild it again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you're trying to clean your little window here, the best way, if you don't have like a rag or anything, just some of that wood ash from the fire itself will act as a natural cleaning agent. It's got a little bit of lime in it, and it will do a pretty decent job on removing that crease on the window. We're gonna do a little bit of fishing today as well, but we ain't gonna do it hard. We ain't gonna be throwing out and retrieving nothing. To be honest, this is one of those rare occasions where I don't honestly give a damn if, okay, I can't say that because I do, right? I can't say that I don't care if I don't catch fish, because otherwise I wouldn't even throw the water. I'd just be sunbathing in the yard. But with that being said, we're not gonna fish too hard about this. We're gonna keep this as low key as humanly possible. Our setup is super easy as always. Same thing you used as a kid: bobber and bait. If you're new to the channel, the bait's kind of a little different. We're using maggots, just little tiny gulp maggots. And we're just going to keep it simple. Put a couple maggots on the hook, throw it out there. Our hook's a little big, so we're going to double up. Hopefully that stove gets going and we can sit on our asses and just enjoy life. You know, I always try to do too much. I'm always fishing in the boat, or it's currently salmon season, so I've been down at the jetty catching big fish. And to be honest, I just need a break. You know, still recovering from having the kids over, and you're like, oh, having kids isn't a big deal, they're a blessing. Well, they are for about a week. Anything after a week, they're just they're exhausting. You know, they clog my toilets. They I don't know if I oh, that was stupid. Who needs fingertips anyways? The answer is apparently not me. We're starting to get things going. I don't like where the rubber is. Slight breeze today, but I tried to throw it like a girl. So let's throw this out where I think it's going to do the best action. Give me a second and I'll get settled down and hang out with the chat a little bit. We're gonna have to get up in like just a minute, but hey, shout out everybody. Rex, Daniel, Scaffoot. Hi, shout out to the chat. Man, we are just hanging out today. Hopefully y'all here for it. We got the wood stove kicked up. We got a lounge chair just off of screen. We got our sidekick joining us. We got a bobber. We got some bait on there. I'd say worms, but I am out of worms, so we're switching it up to maggots. Just keeping it pretty low key today. You know, normally turning into a little bit of a makeout session with the dog, which is a little, you're too much, bro. Settle it down. We just having a chill, sorry, that view's probably hella boring. We're just having a chill day. Lawn chair, camp stove, little bit of copyrighted music y'all can enjoy. Wood stove, and just hanging out by the lake, just being outside. You know, it's gonna start getting dark here at like 4 o'clock, and that's not a good time for me. You know, so I'm trying to enjoy the last of summer that I can. You know. I'm gonna do some fishing. I'm gonna hang out. Hopefully y'all enjoy the vibe. If you guys got a question or you want to shout out or whatever y'all want to do, I'm just keeping it relaxed and low key for today. Look out. My poor old wood stove has definitely seen some better days. You think the fish like coffee? Wake up, fish. Hey, Opando, you're from Oregon? We're neighbors, buddy. Uh, or rivals, depending on which football team you root for. Go Washington State. The Ducks are poisonous. But this is what we got going on. We just got a... We got a chair. We got our stove. We just hanging out today. We got our sidekick with us, as always. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna do some fishing. We hoping that little wood stove pops up. We got our sidekick. Come on, sidekick. Yeah. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Got a bobber out. This is my backyard pond. If you're new to the channel, it's about 10 acres. Maybe 11 if it rains. Fed by a larger pond up north. Drains out to a few other smaller ponds as well. We got yellow perch, bluegill, a couple sunfish, largemouth bass, and the occasional trout. And I say occasional trout because it was stocked back in the 90s and never stocked since. So, but from time to time I'll run into a you know, my plan is to just chill, right? I've been fishing like crazy. It's salmon season here on the Washington State coast, and I've been grinding pretty hard on that. Like, I already got 3 fish this season. I'll bring you guys down to the jetty after a little bit. I just, it's treacherous, you know? It's not... It's treacherous down there. It ain't like backyard pond fishing, you know. You're trying to balance on these boulders and net a 10-pound fish and trying to stop raccoons from eating your lunch. You know, if you're interested, you know, in salmon fishing on the Washington State coast, I put out a pretty good tutorial guide about it. And like I said, if it's something you're interested in, it's definitely worth checking out. But we're not fishing today. We're just hanging out, you know. It's summer is kind of coming to an end, and not that I got a summer since I live here on the Washington State coast. Man, we did not hit one day above 70 degrees where I live this year. And I know that this is like a little bit of a grass is always greener type situation where you're like, well, it's 100 degrees where I live and most of the state's on fire. And my response to that is, yeah, that sucks for you, but it doesn't make it suck less for me. You know, like one day above 70, I don't think that's asking too much. But it's all right. Everything's pretty green. I do feel lucky to live where I live, you know what I mean? pretty confident in that fire. It might take a little bit to get going, but once it does, man, big old... You know, I really do live in like a wildlife refuge. There's a big old osprey that rolled through, probably eyeballing the doggo, but I think I'm talking a little too much, and the fish are gonna just not respond well to that, so we're gonna let it cook. It's hard for me not to play with that that bobber. You know, everybody says they have ADHD, but I'm like an original ADD kid from the 80s, back before we needed the fancy extra letter. And there's just, it's hard. It's hard to sit here and just do nothing, to be honest with you. Tell you what, that little dog's throwing off more heat than that stove. You know, for me and a Chihuahua mix, she really is about this life, though. And to be honest, if she was an 80-pound lab, would she fit right there? Damn dog's a blanket hog. We just weren't drafting correctly. We dampened it down too early. Or there wasn't enough air getting through the front. One of the two. It's about lunchtime here in the Pacific Northwest. If we catch something worth eating, we'll eat it. This wasn't really supposed to be catch and cook. And we ain't trying too hard to catch today. We just on a vibe. You know, it's the end of summer. We're hanging out. Before I get into that time of year where it's just dark, rain, and rain. You know, where I live, it'll rain for 90 days straight. And I'm not talking about like a misty marine layer that we get every day. I'm talking about a heavy drizzle for the better part of 90 days. Jump up, check on that chat, see what everybody's doing. Settlement, man. We're doing all right, bro. Crystal. Hey, how we doing? Rusty, bro, good to see you, cuz. I know you as well. Man, we are just recovering, bro. It's been a hell of a week. I got rid of the kids on Tuesday, and I love them to death. But Jesus Christ, I don't have kids for a reason, right? And burnt out, man. I'm just burnt the hell out. You know, we did all kinds of stuff, and I've been jetty fishing. If you follow the channel, like it's salmon season, right? And I like catching salmon probably more than the next fella. So I've been throwing, you know, a crazy amount of time at this, just living life. So today I am just on a absolute path to do nothing. If you're here for like an exciting trip to the beaver dam, y'all are going to be sorely disappointed. If you're wondering what I'm listening to on my headphones, it's the Settlement Show. He's beefing with this person named Connie. This dude is like the Howard Stern of YouTube, right? I guess he kind of makes Howard Stern look like The View, if we're being honest. But the amount of like beef this guy has with like, it's this whole weird community that like I don't understand, but I'm here for it, man. It's genuinely entertaining. If you want some like, it's like his channel's the mix of like Howard Stern radio talk show meets like Jerry Springer. It's amazing. It's always a good time. If I don't know, you sponsor other channels or shout outs, I'm just saying, if you're wondering what's on my headphones right now, it is this dude named Settlement, man. He has his own little radio show or whatever you want to call it. But we hanging out. Good times. Rusty, what you been up to, man? You been out on the lake doing some fishing? Yeah. You know, I like the Uncle role, Rusty, so like I'm here for that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I bully the kids a little bit, but we're gonna switch up bait a little bit. We got some maggots on there, but I don't want to bully the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not my goal. And once you're a grown man, you're a grown man. And I really try hard to stay humble. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't try to son anybody. You know what I mean? There's a difference explaining something to a kid or even explaining something to your buddy because you know a little bit about it. But I ain't trying to come across as arrogant. There's little rat tails. I know y'all probably can't see them from halfway across the world, but I'll throw that on there. We might pull the bobber because going off the bottom with these, I think they float. Enough. Enough. Leave it. I see him. My neighbor has an Airbnb and they complaining. They saying, oh, this dude burns garbage. Ain't no garbage. Fishing with Aiden, man. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing good, bro. Shout out to the 12 people. Welcome to the backyard pond, man. We are just on a hangout session. Nothing crazy. We got our rod, got a bobber, got our worms out there. We're going to sit on our butt and enjoy the day. Aiden, that's an interesting way to spell that name, but shout out to you. Hope you're doing good, man. Come on. You got it. Come on. Yeah, Rusty, nothing wrong with that, brother. You setting up like a stand or something? What you doing with the deer? I don't know when your seasons are, but it's a little early. Unless you're one of those bow hunters. I ran into a bow hunter. Was that you, Rusty? You're a bow hunter? Bow and muzzleloader here where I live is October. Black powder, muzzleloader, and bow head out early, and that's October. But I ain't got the patience for it, man. I did a little bit of bow hunting when I was younger, but I'm just not good at it. I wish I was, but like I can't bow hunt worth a damn, to be honest with you, brother. Like I can't hit, at 30 yards. I don't know if I'm gonna hit it in the heart or if I'm gonna hit it in the ass. It's could go either way. What you planting? You like a farmer? Are you a soybean farmer? Ain't no money in corn or grain. I heard the money's in soybeans. But I've been a long ways away from that community for a long time. What are you planting in the fall? Garlic? Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. Oh, you got like deer clover and stuff. Alfalfa? The house just across the lake there. The dude is like Snow White. He wants to own like a wildlife refuge, and he's got 4-point bucks eating out of his hand every morning. To hell with the bow or a rifle. You can just Rambo knife that thing. But I live in an HOA, so hunting, of course, isn't allowed. And to be honest with you, I'm just not as into it as I used to be, you know? I've been growing stuff on a smaller scale. You know, I got a couple raised beds out front. Lots of raspberries, lots of blueberries, and then just random stuff. What the hell? I mean, I can't sit still. This is supposed to be just a relaxing, chill vibe. But to be honest with you, there's my pumpkins. I got a massive deck, and I do enjoy growing stuff. Always been a hobby. I actually had my own strain of tomato. You know, I cross-pollinated a Siberian Husky and an early girl, and I grew that to grow well in my climate because it's colder. So I took the hardy variety of a early girl or Siberian Husky, and I paired that with the early girl, and the early girl produces early, but the Siberian Husky is a little beefier of a tomato. And I grew that strain for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And I cherry picked the strongest ones of that tomato strain until I was left with my own unique strain that grows pretty well in the Pacific Northwest. But I took a little break from tomatoes because my father-in-law is like stupid into it. Like, how many, you teach a guy to grow tomatoes and then all of a sudden you got 40 pounds of tomatoes and you're making your own sauce. And is it worth it? No, because it takes like 80 freaking days to grow a good tomato, and spaghetti sauce is cheap. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's just the fun of doing stuff. But if you guys want to see what I grow, let's get up, take a look around. I'll show you guys. The dog's like, don't get up. We got a couple blueberry bushes here. They'll fill in. That's just my back patio. We got some pumpkins. They kind of just cascade down. This is like my little patio or deck. We got pumpkins here. Nobody ever comes down here. This is a huge, probably, I don't know, 10 by 30 deck. And we never use it. So I just kind of grow little pumpkins on here. This one, you're like, yo, that looks like hell. And it for sure does. But I fertilized burned it. I mixed up the fertilizer wrong. And it was absolute trash. But we got a zucchini. Yeah. This has been tough. I burnt the hell out of it. We're getting a little powdery mildew. But come around. Oh, this is my little herb fairy garden. We got, this is like a double-edged thing. This is what the hell is that called? Citronella. Got thyme. Little fairy gardens there. I normally keep a pet fish in here. We just didn't get to it this year. But let's walk around front here and we'll show you guys the good stuff, right? This is just kind of side of my yard that like the land of time forgot, but we're working on it. We got all new river rock this year. Before we were doing the bark dust, but the bark dust just turns to weeds like super quick. So we replaced it all with the river rock. But this is what we got this year. We got it's a little bit messy. Got some artichoke, beets, but got some fresh beets. Cabbage all kind of went to seed. I didn't get any cabbage. Since I have high wind, this is my mini corn. And tall. I mean, we're talking maybe 2 or 3 feet tall, which is great because it doesn't get knocked over by the wind. But I mean, it grows full size. We got 1 row of raspberry here. They get pretty tall. They're about 10 foot. on the raspberries. But this is my homemade greenhouse, right? It doesn't get hot here. So I had a bunch of old 2x4s left over from work and different projects. So I wrapped it in this plastic, and this thing will get about 80 degrees if it's 60 degrees out. But we're growing peppers, man, and these are jalapenos, bell peppers. This particular plant here is a fucking suicide plant. I mean, it doesn't get any hotter than this. The Carolina Reaper. This is my first year trying to grow that. It's mostly jalapenos. We got a couple massive big bell peppers back there. This is a little Peter Piper next to the Pacific. But I eat a lot of peppers, so like we'll go ahead and munch on that little jalapeno right now. This is the remnants of a time long forgotten. This is my own strain of tomato that I've been growing for, shit, I'm old, probably about 10 years now. And but this year we just kind of really focused on hot peppers in our makeshift greenhouse. And you know, it's probably about 50 degrees outside and it's about 65 in here. But I got the window open. I'm gonna take a bite of that jalapeno. And you're like, oh, jalapeno ain't nothing. I eat habanero level hot sauce all the time. I'll tell you what though, it's significantly different. Fresh versus like hot sauce. Seed explosion, a little bit hot. We're walking through. This is my row of raspberries. It's also the fence for my neighbor's lot. But this is just a massive, probably, I don't know, 50-foot row of delicious raspberries. And you can see these bloom twice a year. We already had one batch this year. This year's growth will produce some berries here in fall. But last year's growth is absolutely ready to go. So basically, they produce all summer long. We gonna go, it's lunchtime. I'm hungry. We're gonna go grab some chow, cook it up over this fire. I'm gonna be away from the inner screen for a minute, hang out, enjoy the vibe, let you play in the background, whatever you're doing. We will be right back. Chill out. Can I help you? Come on. Down. Oh, we missed a pretty good bite there. Got robbed. No, where's the hot dog? Son of a bitch. It's still good. It's still good. Nothing like a little limp wiener. We trying to fish. We trying to cook wieners. Man, life is fucking pretty good. Let's go. We got robbed though. We 100% got robbed on that fishing pole. That's alright. You know, normally we're using worms, but today to make things a little more challenging, we're using power bait. More specifically, unknown how old power bait. But I'd like to see if I can't find me a little trout. If I want to catch something to eat, hopefully it's a trout. Sorry for the delay there, Rusty. Yeah, I send it back probably once a year, and it's typically a 2-week turnaround. And I do everything with that knife, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it holds the blade better than any other knife I've ever owned. And that leads me to today's sponsor, and that is cheap white bread. Whether you're making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, need a hot dog hamburger bun, or garlic bread for French toast, cheap white bread coming in clutch since the early 80s. Boom. No ketchup, no mustard, nothing but pure dirt, hemlock, and Presto log flavoring. Oh my God, I'm fucking here for it though. Jesus Christ. The only thing tastes better than this hot dog right now is a hot dog after a cheap night of drinking on the streets of Tijuana, Mexico. I mean, I think the Jewish community really nailed it. Hebrew National Hot Dogs, you are crushing it in life. Thank you for being a delicious part of today's video. Man, we got lots of stuff turning over. You can always tell it's cooked over a campfire because half of it is thoroughly cooked and the other half is completely cold. I've had worse lunches. Coming up. Come on. Come on with it, little dog. Hey, shout out to the 23 people watching. Welcome to my backyard pond. Today we cooking hot dogs, living life, doing a little bit of fishing, end of summer vibes. If you're new here, my backyard pond is about 10 acres. Maybe a little bit more if it rains hard enough. I live in the Pacific Northwest. The pond itself's got largemouth, yellow perch, bluegill, bullhead catfish, and I'm hoping today for an occasional trout. This is my sidekick, the one and only Bailey. What else? What else do y'all want to know? I live in Washington State, right on the coast. The ocean's a mile behind me. A big old bay is a mile that way. I'm on a sandbar in the middle. I'm hoping to just keep it low-key. I'm gonna roast up another hot dog, hang out by the lake, and just kind of sit back and live life. I hope y'all are here for that. If you got any questions, let me know. I'm fixing to roast up another hot dog and see what the day brings. Go be a dog. Go. You know, a bumblebee, that bumblebee wants a hot dog too, that son of a bitch. So lazy, I don't want to hold my own hot dog. Yo, we're gonna have to rotate that in a minute, but We need some cherry Pepsi, man. Some Diet Pop. You know what no one ever tells you about? The second you turn like 35, you're like, man, I sure wish I had a diet soda versus like those Red Bulls and Monsters you used to crank down in your 20s. And the really screwed off part of all that is like, you need that energy more in your 40s, right? Like, why you down in Monster in your 20s like it's going out of style? When you hit 40, you're like, oh, I guess I'll switch to Diet Coke. It's weird, man. As humans, I'll tell you what, like middle age makes no sense. Like zero. I want that hot dog Coke. I'm gonna go grab that Diet Coke. Let's run it. Hunter Paul, shout out. You know what the best part about watching your friends' kids are? I'm gonna say a whole lot of nothing, but when she dropped him off with like tons of like cheap junk food, right? Things I would never normally get on my own. And today we are trying, I didn't even know this was a thing. It's A&W, right? And it's a root beer, but the name of it is Root Beer Float, zero sugar. And I can't imagine a root beer float, but how is it different than regular root beer? Is it going to taste like ice cream? Vanilla ice cream? And what kind of vanilla ice cream? Is it going to be like French vanilla? Vanilla bean? I don't know, man. Not a lot of fizz. Let's give this bad boy a go. You know, no cap, it does taste a little like a root beer float. Surprisingly delicious. I guess it just tastes like root beer with vanilla. But That's basically what a root beer float is anyways. A little bit sweet. Kind of like that guy in your high school gym class who made eye contact just a little long in the locker room. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jason, if you're watching, you're a creep, bro. We all knew long before you came out. That stove is getting nice and warm though. You know, seems like the stupidest way to do this. If I had just grabbed my cast iron skillet, I could have probably cooked like 5 at one time, and I would have got my heat a lot more evenly. I could have just rolled them around. Life would have been significantly better. If you're wondering what's on my headphones, it's my Angry Girl mix from the 90s. We got like Pink. All right, so like early 2000s. We got Pink. We got some Alanis Morissette. Like, y'all wonder if she ever still has one hand in her pocket. But, man, nothing. Some Avril Lavigne dating some skater boys. I mean, the early 2000s was like peak era angry girl music, right? And you can act like y'all are all like, oh, bro, you getting soft in your old age. But I don't act like you didn't steal your sister's Alanis Morissette CD and play that bitch on repeat in your bedroom. I mean, we've all been there. And it's a piece of nostalgia I think I'm just going to go ahead and hang on to. A little bit of rain, you know. I was hoping I'd get at least one day of summer this year here at the coast, but you know, I did. I got maybe 2 or 3 days where it was sunny. Not all day, but at least part of it. And I think it was t-shirt weather of 60 degrees for at least a few hours. You know, I'm gonna tell you what, this should be a candle scent, right? Like, you have all of these, like, ocean breeze or, like, campfire. Does anyone have, like, all beef hot dog on a rusty camp stove next to the ocean? It's a very unique smell, and I'm here for it, you know? So everybody knows the key to roasting hot dogs is a hemlock branch, perfectly cleaned with a $300 knife, slowly rotated at approximately 1/10 of a turn for every 5 seconds. Oh, this one's better though. We're putting a little more effort into it, but this one is definitely going to be a better result. The first one always gets kind of rushed because you're hungry. You realize all you had for breakfast was like a string cheese. And you had to rebuild this asshole's deck who underpaid you. But you let it happen because he's like 80 years old. And you got a soft spot for old people and Social Security. Maybe we'll get serious about fishing here in a minute. But, you know, if we're talking about, like, being in church at the moment, like, just being outside feels good. And sometimes it feels good not to have anything to do. You're just outside just to be outside. And I'll tell you what, I like lighting stuff on fire and eating food just as much as I like catching fish. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing a little too much, though. Like, I set up that huge tent. We're getting a little fancy with it. We got that cheap white bread, which is the sponsor of today's video. If you've ever used cheap white bread as like a hamburger bun, hot dog bun, French bread for spaghetti, you might have been a poor kid like me. But cheap white bread, man, coming in clutch since the 80s. Oh, the cook on that one is significantly better. A little bit crunchy on the outside. No weird cold thoroughly cooked. No manners, talking with their mouth full. We're gonna have to back up a little bit though. We're getting a little bit warm. One with mustard. I like mustard on my hot dogs. It's the seriously most underrated condiment there is, right? If I gave you the choice between ketchup and mustard, you're choosing ketchup 90% of the time for 90% of things. But maybe we'll cook one up for the dog. She'd probably eat it raw, but like, you want a hot dog? Want some lunch? You've been digging holes. Yeah, little shit. Yeah, I don't know what everybody's like love affair with ketchup is, but like mustard, seriously underrated condiment. Which reminds me, like, is anybody eating Grey Poupon? Remember how we all like grew up and we're like, oh shit, Grey Poupon is so fancy. And like it was a running gag, like you'd ask a stranger in the car. We all remember those commercials. Pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon? And then you order it, right? Or you have your mom buy you some, and then it's like, and this is brown mustard. You can call it Grey Poupon all you want, but it's just fancy ass mustard. Not even that delicious, man. Give me this unnaturally yellow, bright French's mustard, and the second you squirt it on your hot dog and you forgot to shake the bottle, that shit just gets everywhere. So now you've ruined your last bun, but you eat it anyways. Because who remembers to shake the bottle? You know, if you take away one thing from this entire live stream, shake that yellow mustard bottle. Otherwise, you're going to get just weird mustard water all over your hot dog. You're going to be angry about it. It might be the last bun. I mean, that's some solid life advice. Always shake the mustard. Who's like a dog? Joan, you want a hot dog? She for sure wants a hot dog. Alright, we cook one up for the doggo. This is why you're fat. Just kidding, that dog's got a metabolism like me, man. We eat all day long and gain a pound. I'm not gonna lie, I like that zero sugar root beer float. Does it really taste like a root beer float? I mean, close enough, right? Don't do it. God damn, there's one lily pad. By one, I mean 1,000. But, it is what it is. Oh man, we losing bait. You know, I kind of like these, normally for trout, but a lot of things will eat them. These are just, Powerball. They're called rat tails. And normally I just float them off the bottom. But, they'll work. If you got a little slip shot, they'll sink down enough to where, we're not just floating on top. And I think I found a lot of things actually eat these, we broke our rat tail. Now we just got power bait. And I'm not too optimistic that that's going to perform well. But we can go and fish just a little harder once we get the doggo fed. No, we got bees eating hot dogs. We don't have to put this up. We're going to let that cook. We're going to grab another sody pop and we will be right back. Yeah, for sure. You're all on board with the mustard. That makes me happy. We do have boar heads. And that is some pretty fancy mustard as well there, Mr. Shackelford. But it is, yeah, man, shout out Boar's Head, right? That stuff is pretty fun. Oh. Oh. Fried bologna is pretty good as well, my friend. We don't cook through some wood at this rate, but that's all right. We got a little bit we can go. Whoa, shit. What the fuck? Yeah, I just ripped a huge hole in my jeans. I won't share it with you guys, but man, I just ripped the whole crotch out. And I mean, it sounds cooler than what it actually is, but we're gonna chill for a minute. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna chill. We're gonna cook our little wiener. Secret superstar? You're a paranormal investigator? Bro, that is awesome. I'm me. You know, I actually work as a handyman in a retirement community. I am also a disabled veteran, a wannabe YouTuber, and dog dad to the most awesome tweenie on the planet. Whoa. Whoa. Chill, bro. Yo, welcome to my happy place. You alright? You alright? No, don't come up here. Don't do it. Don't do it. Can't tell what's keeping me warmer, the doggo or the wood stove. I hear it too. I'm just a baby. Roar! Roar! Poke. Poke. Don't smile at me. It's weird. Poke. Poke. Poke, 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 poke. I think your hot dog's done. I'll cut it up for you in a minute. You know, it's weird. I never realized how much I actually like the smell of cooking hot dogs. Like a good hot dog, though. Like all beef, not like those mystery hot dogs. I'll set that off to the side, let it cool. Got a bobber floating just off that way. She got a bad tooth, the little dog here. And I got her an appointment down at the vet to get it removed. But it's not until the beginning of next month. Ask me how much it costs to have a dog's tooth removed. And the answer is more than it would cost to have my tooth removed. All of my teeth removed. There's a guy who drives around in this white van, and he's for sure, it's just discount dental, and it's, he drives around in a white Chevy Astro, all-wheel drive, and he does discount dental work, and you can tell he's a good dentist because he doesn't have any teeth of his own. Like, he just removed them himself. But it's incredibly affordable. Like, if I bring my own ether rag, it's just like $20 per tooth. I asked him if he'd do work on the dog, but man, these vets are a hustle. Like, I've never really thought about like owning pet insurance before. But it's a real thing. You know, I grew up like, I'd never get my dog's teeth looked at. You know, I own dogs who never went to the vet their whole existence. And I'm trying to do better, you know? Trying to do better. Hit that vet checkup, because my last dog passed completely out of the blue. It was heartbreaking, right? He was also the same combination. He was a Chihuahua Dachshund mix, but he was more Dachshund than Chihuahua. This one is the exact opposite. She is 100% Chihuahua with the length of a Dachshund. The other one was a killer. He'd hunt rats and mice, and I could bring him into a barn full of rodents and there wouldn't be a rodent standing when he walked out. This one's real timid, kind of shy, wants to be carried around, just wants nothing but love. And it's weird to think that, you know, they share the same DNA, but that old Sweeney I had, he was, and I didn't do him right. You know, I never took him to the vet. He just kind of existed his little farm life. This one, trying to do her a little better, you know? Make sure she's feeling good. Paying $1,800 for a goddamn tooth removal. And I'm griping about it, you know? and it's gonna be less. But they're like, oh, she needs a full blood workup for $300. She needs all of this just ridiculous stuff. And I said, can we not do that? Does she really need a full panel blood workup for a tooth extraction? And they told me it did. Gotta have, before we can put your dog under anesthesia, she has to have a full panel blood workup. And I said, what if I do the anesthesia part myself? And they weren't on board with it. So long story short is, it's going to cost about, yeah, I think after tax, man, we are, you know what those, those bees are liking those hot dogs as well. But, yeah, long story short is, but we'll get it taken care of. What do you got? Heartburn? No, too far. That's the problem with these lawn chairs. If you go too far, you have to go even further to go back. Now everything's ruined. But that's alright. I needed to grab that fishing rod anyway. Today I don't want to do anything. Ugh. Ah, barely. Whoa. Too much, bro. You're doing too much. No, there ain't no more hot dog. Settle down. Thank you, Gru. Excuse me. Wind's starting to kick up. Here comes the sun. Doo 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 doo. Here comes the sun. And I say it's alright. What y'all know about the Beatles, bro? Ah, it feels good, man. It's the first time I've been warm all day. It's been gray and drizzly. A little sunshine popping out. We hitting a high of maybe 62 degrees. Look out now. Yo, it's just a morale boost. I don't know what time it is, but I wasn't expecting to see the sun today. And don't get it wrong, it's only going to be here for like 5 minutes tops. Leave it. But, damn, it feel nice. It got hot out. Like, I was not expecting that. Don't get me wrong, completely surrounded by really dark, ominous looking clouds. But you gotta take the winds where you can get them. It's hard for me to sit still. You know, I was like, oh man, close my eyes, not pay attention to the bobber, but that sun pop out, and I'm like, even the dog got hot. You can tell when she get warm, because she's, this is a fun word, I don't know if you guys can see or not, but I have to move back from that little fireplace. But when a dog lays completely flat out like that, it's called spluting. It's a real thing. You can Google it. But when a dog lays completely flat, stretched out, it's called spluting. And that dog just sploots all over the place, man. That's the word of the day, splooting. And it's always a mixed bag, because whenever the sun pops out, it's usually because the wind picked up. But it's relatively mild now, maybe 10 miles an hour or so. Yeah, secret superstar, I am definitely American. I'm trying to keep my signal as strong as I can, but I live out in the middle of nowhere. Rusty, if you already left, man, I appreciate you coming through. Donald, good to see you as well. Today's just a chill stream, man. We are out here in my backyard, Pacific Northwest. Got a little campfire going. Just living life, you know. End of summer is coming along, and we're just hanging out. Me and the dog, doing a little bit of fishing. Come on, little dog. And just like that, the sun is gone, and we are back to 50 degrees with a chance of rain. Yeah, I hate cliches, but I'm gonna go ahead and say what every old man says about the area they live. If you don't like the weather, just give it 5 minutes. But true words have never been spoken here at the coast. When that sun pops out, it's about 60 degrees, but 60 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour breeze. Little dog got too hot laying out in the yard. Let's check that bobber. Oh boy. That's the catch of the day, boys. For sure a 4-pounder. Vegetarian though. 4 pounds of salad. Dang. We just weeding. That's alright. We ain't... To be honest with you, we ain't trying very hard. But we're gonna try a little better than what we're doing now. I think we're gonna switch it up. Before we had that rat tail on there, I think we got these little fake maggots, and I think that we're going to change up our little presentation. We'll do like a maggot cluster. See if we can't target some of those. Switch it up. Just switch it up a little bit. Try better. That's all you can do. we got that out there. We're gonna let it cook. But we're gonna move it a little bit. Yeah, she got a little hot there, Dan, so she chilling, man. She really is my buddy. You know, if you would told me I'd be best friend a Chihuahua mix, I would have said that is definitely up for debate, but she really has been my best friend, man. She probably says the same thing. She probably said, I don't think I'd be friends with this solidly middle-aged old dude, but here we are. You go for a ride? Hank, I absolutely did, brother. You know, problem with me is I got the attention span of a Cocker Spaniel, right? And I can't guess. Look at the ocean. You know, if you watch the channel, you're like, all this dude does is the backyard pond fish, right? Does he even live next to the ocean? I think we hop on the bike and we go for a little ride. It's a beautiful day. Sun is shining. Birds are chirping. We're throwing phones around. We got our Chihuahua loaded up in her activity purse. Let's do something with our lives, huh? Maybe we'll take the wife's bike. This is our e-bike. It is definitely a street legal compliant e-bike, even with all these new fancy laws. That's just kidding. It might get a little choppy here. If you guys want to stand by, but let's go for a ride. Let's see if we can't find something to do. Adventure awaits. Backyard pond to I'll show you guys what we got going on. We got the Chihuahua in the activity purse. No, we got the Chihuahua in the this is what we got. This will be our mode of transportation. We got the dog all loaded up. I'll do my best to hold the camera still. It's about a mile to the ocean. Maybe 2 miles if we take the long way. We might take the long way. Seems like a good day for it. Sun popped out. You're like, why do you have that heavy coat on? And there's 2 reasons. It gets cold on the bike. And 3, I don't know a better way to carry my dog. I'll do my best to hold the camera as still as possible, but no guarantees. Welcome to the trailer park and the end of the world. It might not be much, but it's home. Unk means unpopular. Nah, man, maybe. I thought unk was just a term for an old dude. And I'm for sure that solid middle-age dude that just offers crazy bad advice unsolicitedly. We ain't going real fast, maybe 18, 20, I think. But I got my windsock on my mic and I'm not trying to blow it out. Sorry if the picture quality isn't the best. Look, Bambis. We got a mama Bambi and a baby Bambi. Who wants to see some Bambis? Dun it, dun it. Hi, Bambi. Is that your mother? Warning, deer appear closer than on screen. Hey. Hey, deer. Get a job. You know, every time you see a deer, you're like, damn, that's a deer. And it doesn't matter if you've seen deer every day for like the last 100 years, right? It is always super exciting to see a deer. I've been on and around, I've been looking down at all I see. Hey! Many covers on the floor of the street. Don't you know that I could use somebody? Somebody like you and all you know. Over the river and through the woods, to the ocean's life we go. The bike knows the way to carry the dog over the white and drifted sand. Oh, over the river and through the woods, run fast, my dad will grin. Run over the grounds like a hunting hound. A little too early for Thanksgiving music. Yeah, you know, then oh, we're about a block from the beach, maybe 2, but I'm just taking the dog for a walk, man. I've been rolling around, I've been looking down, and all I see Going a little bit fast. It's hard to keep my hat on. Miles an hour. I'm half tempted to go look for mushrooms. I think she's a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. But she got the loyalty of a pit, man. You know, everybody says, oh, pits are like these big, scary dogs. And they are. But I don't blame the breed. I blame the owner 90% of the time. But, debating life. I can either head over into the woods, or I can cut out onto the beach. Choices in life. We might do both. Hang on, it's about to get bumpy. I'm gonna take it off the Chihuahua cam. We're gonna adventure awaits. I'll try to hold this as steady as possible, but we're fixing to hit some really soft sand, and there's not a whole lot of anti-shake on this phone. So it's me holding the dog in my coat. Riding basically an electric motorcycle out to the ocean. Let's see what we can do. It's gonna get bumpy, sorry. Phone down, phone down. Ugh. You guys wanted to get a sandy bath anyways, right? What's the ocean without a little bit of sand in your teeth? Dan, can you hear my audio okay? You guys gotta hang out for a second. Don't worry, it'll get much more entertaining. Just give me 2 seconds. Alright. Sorry, you guys gotta hang on. We in about 6 inches of soft sand or more. A little bit of a struggle bus. hard pack won't be after that. Oh man. Not a bad view at all, right? Like, boom, Chihuahua, e-bike, next to the ocean. Come on, it don't get no better than this. Let's go for a little cruise. Let's see how fast they go. We're chickened out because we got one hand. Well, we here. That sand is soft. Let's release the Chihuahua. Let her go for a run. Man, it's actually a little warm, a little breezy here. But you know what? I'd say this view never gets old. But I'd be lying. It does get old. But, you know, I'm lucky to live where I do. I think we're about an hour after low tide. So, hopefully, yeah. Not a lot I can do about the audio, or the audio should be okay, hopefully. Hopefully, the video isn't too bad. We're just out for a beach walk, seeing what we can see. This is kind of cool. A lot of people do this. This is like a favorite hobby or a pastime. And this is just some kind of weird, like, beach structure. There's another one just over here in the dunes. Let's go check it out. I mean, you think I should put my dog on a leash? Hey, run away. Whoa, privacy grew. What do we got? I don't know. Camera never does anything justice. But, do we have a hobo camp? We got some form of adventure. That's what we got. We kind of up a ways from the water. And, we might be trespassing. The beach and the ocean over here is all public. It's actually a highway. But look at this. Looks like some kind of little beach shanty. What's it say? It says made by a girl and her dad. Use, but please be kind. MW and PW. Thank you. And it's just a little beach structure. That's kind of neat. We might need a little. We got to be careful. Looks like it's going to start pouring down rain. But, I mean, we gotta pop a squat, right? All right, Hobo Beach survival hut. Randomly found. Come on up. Whoa. All right. I mean, this is, she's like, to hell with this. Why are we sitting in a bunch of sticks? I don't know. Pretty cool little find. You know, we are in a little bit of a remote location. Not really. I mean, there's some houses right here behind us. All the rich people kind of live over here. Somebody built that little stick hut. Pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, the Wi-Fi sucks, but let's keep going, see what else we can't find. It is low tide. I might want to work my way out to the surf line. Problem is, the camera doesn't do it justice, but it's raining maybe 20 miles off the shore, and that wind is kind of blowing our direction. Let's make our way down to the water. Hello, Mr. Bumblebee. Beach sand. I don't know. Yeah, let's make our way towards the ocean here. Maybe find a dead seal or something. Hey! Dog's out being a dog. You know, we're coming up on the tail end of summer, and I just don't know how many days I'm going to get like this. Don't get me wrong, it could rain at any minute, and we might be riding home. Oh man, look at that chihuahua. Have you ever seen something so fast? Hey! Just having a good time. Just exploring. Run! Run! You got a guy in a Jeep. Hey. Looks like there's a pretty cool tide pool here. Since it's low tide and I didn't bring my kite with me, let's look for some Dungeness crabs. A lot of times you can rake them just right out of the tide pool. It doesn't look like it's a super low tide, but there's a pretty big tide pool here. We might find a couple. Dog's trying to drink ocean water. Hey, don't drink that. So these are just little tide pools that open up when the tide goes out. And sometimes you can stroll along and no, Sam, welcome back. She will definitely not. She's kind of thirsty. This is all salt water here. I should have brought her some. She'll wade through the tide pool, but she won't. She won't get too wet. These little birds over here are pretty, see, when I'm looking for Dungeness, yeah, there she goes. She thinks she's a bird dog. Hey, you leave those prowlers alone. This isn't going to be deep enough. If you're looking for Dungeness crabs and tide pools, you want the tide pool at least 3-4 feet deep. That's the furthest I've ever seen that dog get wet. Showing off for the live stream. There's a boat. I don't know if y'all can see it on camera. And he's crabbing. He is trying to get Dungeness crab, which is delicious. Well, this might be a little deeper. You never know. You never know where... That's the same thing we're trying to do. We're just trying to do it in a tide pool. He's trying to do it in an ocean. Wow, she's on a bird hunting mission. We got these little snowy prowlers. No, snowy prowlers are endangered. These are just she's like, screw you, I'm out of here. All right, have a good life. Those things. I don't know. I'll see if I can zoom in on them. Yeah, they're just little sandpipers. And there's hundreds of them all the time. Pretty cool. You know, I actually live in like a National Geographic film, right? Here I am. In the middle of, well, I'm in. Do you see any tourists? Nah, I'm pretty much on a deserted beach in the middle of I want to say civilization, but not so much. You know what I mean? I'm like 35 miles from a Walmart. I'm about 5 miles from a country store. And, but there's not a whole lot of people around, to be honest. I lost my dog. Bailey! She's preoccupied. Let's say she's enjoying the facilities. But beautiful day to be outside, you know. I can go from my backyard pond to right next to the ocean. 5-minute bike ride. I'm here for it. Bailey, let's go. Sorry if I shouted into the mic. Whoa! Whoa! Come on. Go, girl. Look at that happy little face. Go get them birds. Go get them. Good job. This way. Looks like we might get some rain. I'm gonna start working my way back towards the bike. Might ride a little further, but to be honest, it's gonna rain, and I'm not too excited about the thought of Bailey, this way, come on. Not too thrilled about the idea of riding home in the rain. So if I can avoid that, we got some big clouds. Bailey, come on, hey, let's go. What a stubborn little... I can actually say this because I'm using the term correctly. What a stubborn little bitch. She heard me, looks at me, runs the other way. She'll catch up though. Bailey! Sorry if I'm whistling into my mic. I don't know where my mic is, actually. Oh, we lost the mic. Cool. One mic down. It says we're still connected. Hey, sorry about that. A lot can go wrong when you're outside. We lost connection there for like a good solid couple minutes. We're just doing some stuff. I had little technical difficulties, but if you're still here, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to enjoy this walk. I am going to live my life, enjoy my time outside, and I recommend you do the same. This live has been brought to you by Outdoor Thing. Might you go outside, it's good for your soul, and if you got a minute and you're interested in like my area and where I live, check out my latest Homegrown video. It's how to fish Cape Disappointment. If you're not into fishing, skip to the end. It's a pretty cool view shot. As always, go outside. It's good for yourself. Catch you on the next adventure. Peace.